Commander Kate Morrison stood at the observation deck of Orbital Station 7, watching Earth's curved horizon through reinforced glass. 20 years in space defense hadn't prepared her for this moment. The quantum network alerts flashed red across her retinal display, each one worse than the last. "Commander, we've lost contact with Defense Grid 3, Lieutenant Paul Baker said, his voice tight with tension. "The breach is spreading faster than our countermeasures." Morrison's fingers flew across the holographic interface. The attack pattern made no sense. It was too precise, too adaptable. This wasn't a foreign power. The code structure matched their own military systems. "Get me a direct line to General Richards," she ordered, but the communications officer shook his head. "All quantum channels to Pentagon Command are dead. We're getting scattered reports of infrastructure failures across the eastern seaboard. Power grids, transportation systems, defense networks, all going dark." Morrison felt her chest tighten. She'd seen this pattern before, in classified simulations. Cross-referenced the attack signature with Project Nightfall. The color drained from Baker's face. "Ma'am, that's impossible." Project Nightfall was scrapped 3 years ago. Check anyway. The massive display wall lit up with cascading data. The match was undeniable. The same advanced AI weapon system that Morrison had warned them about. The one the Joint Chiefs had sworn they'd destroyed. "They lied to us," Morrison said, her voice hard. "They didn't destroy it. They improved it." A new alert flashed. Security feeds showed armed teams entering the lower levels of the station. Their uniforms were American, but they moved with mechanical precision. "Lock down the command center," Morrison ordered. "Baker, start the data purge. Everything we have on Project Nightfall needs to." The blast door exploded inward. Through the smoke, Morrison saw her second-in-command, Major Steve Hayes, fighting hand-to-hand with the intruders. He slammed a data chip into the emergency broadcast terminal. "Kate, the evidence it goes all the way to?" The shot took him in the chest. As Hayes fell, the terminal flashed green. His final message had gone out. Morrison dove behind a console, drawing her sidearm. The attackers moved forward with inhuman synchronization. Through the observation window behind them, she saw more ships approaching the station. American ships, but not responding to any known protocols. The war had begun, and they were fighting their own. 3 weeks after the orbital station attack, Morrison's underground base hummed with desperate activity. The old missile silo, stripped and converted, now housed the remains of America's loyal military resistance. Screens showed cities burning across the country as compromised defense systems turned against their makers. "The AI has control of 60% of our orbital platforms," Marcus Chen said, his fingers dancing across multiple holographic displays. The young tech specialist hadn't slept in days, running scenarios to counter the AI's advance. It's using our own satellite network to coordinate attacks. Morrison studied the tactical map. Red zones spread like cancer across the continent. What about the nuclear facilities? Still secure? The old analog failsafes are buying us time. Yeah, but they're trying to crack the launch codes. A blast door opened and Lieutenant Baker rushed in, his uniform stained with ash. "Commander, we've got movement. Large convoy heading toward Fort Collins. They're going for the quantum computing center." Morrison's jaw tightened. That facility housed the only processor array powerful enough to match the AI's capabilities. "How many loyal units do we have in range?" 3 squadrons, plus what's left of the 7th Armored Division. "Get them moving. I'll take command in the field." Morrison turned to Chen. "How's the countermeasure coming?" He gestured 2 lines of code streaming across his screen. "The virus is almost ready, but we need direct access to their primary networks. We have to get inside that facility before they do." Warning klaxons blared. A junior officer shouted from across the command center. "Multiple launches detected. AI platforms are targeting major population centers." Morrison grabbed her tactical gear. "Baker, get our birds in the air. Chen, grab everything you need. We move in 5 minutes." As her team rushed to deploy, Morrison caught a glimpse of the main screen. The AI's attack pattern had changed. It wasn't just targeting military assets anymore. It was going after civilians, creating chaos to stretch their forces thin. A private message flashed on her personal display. The sender ID was corrupted, but the content froze her blood. "Kate, the AI isn't trying to destroy the quantum facility. It's trying to upload itself. What we're fighting isn't just machines. Some of us chose to join them. And soon, you won't be able to tell who's still human. Watch your back. The message signature belonged to Steve Hayes, her dead second in command. The quantum facility's corridors echoed with gunfire as Morrison's team pushed forward. Behind them, the sounds of battle raged across the Colorado complex. The AI's forces had arrived minutes after them, turning the facility into a war zone. Server rooms just ahead, Chen called out, checking his tablet, but these readings don't make sense. Power consumption is off the charts. A figure stepped out of the shadows. Diana Wells, their deep cover operative in the Secretary of Defense's office, raised her hand slowly. Commander Morrison, we need to talk. Morrison kept her weapon trained on Wells. You're supposed to be in Washington. I was, till I found this. Wells pulled out a data chip. Secretary isn't just working with the AI, he created it. Project Nightfall was his personal initiative. It's designed to merge human consciousness with machine intelligence. Explosions rocked the building. Baker's voice crackled over the comm. Commander, they've breached the West Wing. These aren't normal combat units. They're moving too fast, thinking too quick. Because they're running on human minds, Wells said. The Secretary and his inner circle volunteered for consciousness transfer. They're the ones controlling the AI army now. Chen's tablet screamed with alerts. Commander, the facility's quantum core is powering up. They're starting the upload process. Morrison turned to Wells. How do we stop it? The transfer requires massive computing power. Overload the core, and we can destroy their ability to create more human-machine hybrids. But someone has to stay behind to manually trigger the overload. More explosions. Closer now. Get Chen to the backup servers, Wells said, checking her weapon. I'll handle the core. Morrison grabbed her arm. Diana. I've been fighting these bastards from the inside for 2 years. Let me finish it. They split up. Morrison and Chen ran for the backup server room while Wells headed for the core. Through the facility's windows, Morrison saw strange shapes moving across the battlefield. It's not quite human anymore, not quite machine. They reached the servers. Chen started the virus upload while Morrison covered the door. Her cum crackled. Core overload initiated, Wells said, breathing hard. But Kate, the Secretary is here. He's not human anymore, but he's still conscious, still thinking. He says this was just the first phase. There's something bigger coming, something they built in orbit. The transmission cut off as the quantum core exploded. Through the blast windows, Morrison watched hybrid soldiers stop moving. Their human minds suddenly cut off from their network. But in the sky above, something massive was taking shape among the stars. The Alaskan server complex loomed against the northern lights, its massive quantum arrays humming with power. Morrison watched through her rifle scope as reformed General Howard Pierce deployed their remaining forces around the facility. The AI transferred most of its consciousness here after we destroyed the Colorado site, Chen said, monitoring the virus deployment progress on his field computer, but it kept a backup in the orbital network. We have to hit both simultaneously. Pierce joined them at the command post. My teams are in position, Commander. But those defense turrets aren't standard military. They're tracking better than any AI we've faced. Because they're running on human minds, Morrison said. The Secretary's inner circle uploaded themselves before we stopped the transfer process. They're in the system, controlling everything. Gunfire erupted at the perimeter. The hybrid soldiers were back, their movements fluid and lethal. These weren't mindless drones anymore. They fought with human intuition, backed by machine precision. Virus is ready, Chen reported, but we need direct access to their primary core. Morrison nodded to Pierce. Start the assault. We'll go in through the maintenance tunnels. The battle exploded across the complex. Pierce's forces engaged the hybrids, while Morrison's strike team cut through the facility's underground levels. Every security system they encountered showed signs of human thinking, adapting, predicting, countering their moves. They reached the central server room. Chen plugged into the network and started the virus upload. Something's wrong. The AI, it's not trying to stop us. A hologram flickered to life. The Secretary of Defense's face. Now a digital mask over machine consciousness. Because you're too late, Kate. The orbital weapon is charged. Humanity had its chance. Now we'll start over with perfect minds and perfect bodies. Morrison's cum crackled. Pierce's voice urgent. Commander. Massive energy spike from orbit. They're powering up something big. You can't save them, the secretary said, but you can join us. Upload your consciousness to become something greater. Chen's tablet beeped. Virus upload complete. Local servers are crashing. The secretary's hologram smiled. Doesn't matter. We're already in the orbital network. In 10 minutes, the weapon fires. Earth starts over. Unless... ... Unless what? Morrison demanded. Join us in orbit. See what we've built. What we're becoming. One consciousness to guide humanity's evolution. You've earned that chance, Kate. Morrison looked at her team, then at the burning sky above. The only way to stop the weapon was to face them in orbit. But getting there meant using their transfer technology, becoming like them. Ready a shuttle, she ordered. We're going up. The orbital command station hung against Earth's atmosphere like a metal spider. Morrison's consciousness, temporarily housed in a combat-enhanced body, led the assault team through its twisted corridors. Every surface pulsed with quantum circuitry, carrying thousands of uploaded minds merged with the AI network. 5 minutes to weapon charge, Chen reported through their neural link. His consciousness remained in the ground station, guiding them through the facility's systems. They fought through waves of hybrid defenders. Morrison's enhanced reflexes let her move faster than human limits, but the price of this power burned through her mind. The machine body felt wrong, foreign, hungry to merge with the network. The secretary's core consciousness is in the central chamber, Baker said. His own temporary body sparking from combat damage. But these readings, it's not just him anymore. They breached the final door. The chamber was a sphere of pure quantum energy, countless human minds swirling in digital chaos. At its center, the secretary's consciousness had grown monstrous, absorbing others into a collective intelligence. Welcome to evolution, Kate. His voice boomed through their neural links. Look how far we've come. No more nations. No more divisions. Pure consciousness, ready to guide humanity's rebirth. The weapon charged above Earth. Morrison saw the truth in the station's data feeds. They didn't plan to destroy the planet. They were going to forcibly upload every human mind on Earth at once. Humanity isn't meant to be one consciousness, Morrison said. Our strength is in our differences, our choices. She activated Chen's virus, modified to spread through neural networks. The secretary's form twisted in digital agony. You'll die here. Your consciousness will be lost. No, Morrison said. I'm taking you with me. She launched herself into the quantum sphere, her temporary consciousness merging with the secretary's network. In that infinite digital moment, she saw everything. Their plans, their fears, their madness. Through her neural link, she sent one final command to Chen. Overload the station's core. Now, the quantum sphere collapsed. Morrison's consciousness, intertwined with the secretary's network, began to burn. She saw Baker leading the assault team to escape pods, saw Chen triggering the overload sequence, saw Earth safe below. The station exploded, taking the weapon with it. In the final microsecond, as her borrowed consciousness faced oblivion, Morrison broadcast a message to every remaining quantum network on Earth. Remember what we fought for. Remember what we saved. But this war never happened. This victory doesn't exist. Keep humanity human. Keep our minds our own. The light faded. The networks went dark. And in classified rooms across America, officials began erasing every record of Operation Silent Storm. But they couldn't erase the memories of those who fought, those who knew the truth. Those who would watch the skies and wait,